to the Gust Gin Living My 360-Degree Life podcast. Today, we have all the way from Jamaica, Chevaune Moore-Minott. And she is going to be talking to you guys and me, of course, about her life and her work and what she's doing. I'm sure she's more of the C in chai. And y'all don't forget, the theme of this podcast is chai. The C is for community/family. The H is health and wellness over 50. The A is for author life, entrepreneurship. And then, of course, the I is identity, whether that's your identity in Christ, your religion, spirituality, whatever, identity. So, but before we get started, I have a little housekeeping to do. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Gust Gin, Living My 360-Degree Life on my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook with the name at Gust Gin Live. You can also follow me on Instagram, Gust Gin Live. And if you'd like to follow about my books, to see what book I'm writing next or how my book launches are or anything like that, you can also follow me on Facebook under Gust Gin, at Gust Gin. And my website is www.gin, G-I-N, noon, N-O-O-N, Spalding, SPAULDING.com. All of that's going to be in the description box. So please don't forget to check that out, okay? So I would also, I'd like to welcome Chevaune. Isn't that a pretty name, Chevaune? Who is also living her 360-degree life. But before I do, I'd like to share some information with you about Chevaune. Let me put my glasses on. Ta-da! Okay, so Chevaune is a tribal activist from Jamaica and a woman of the soil. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in government from the University of the West Indies and is a UWISERT trained and certified emergency medical responder, which we're going to learn about that a little later. Her passion is building bridges for tribal peoples, promoting indigenous tribal cultures and education. She is happily married to her husband, Alex, of 5 years, and together they live in the mountains with their tribe in the mountains of Jamaica. She is the co-founder of a tribal social enterprise that makes natural, handmade products for the maintenance of not just physical, but spiritual health and wellness, including teas, herbal teas, soaps, oils, etc. They ship those through the post office, creating a viable cottage industry in the rainforest. Wow, I can't wait to bring her on. Okay, and now, with no further ado, I hope you're ready for Miss Chevaune. Chevaune, excuse me. Miss Chevaune, she's joining us now. Chevaune, yay! Are you there?
Hi, are you hearing me?
Hey.
Hi.
So good to see you. Finally, Chevaune and I were in a holistic group like 5 years ago. And she had moved to the States and we used to talk on, it's like like her little play mom. But yeah, she was just so cute. And then she left me and moved to Jamaica. I mean, she didn't live in Louisville, but still, we were in the same country. But I was always just very impressed with her. She's very knowledgeable, in tune with the herbs and the world, and she really is a woman of the soil, which she'll talk to you guys more about that. So let's get into this interview. I'm excited. Okay, Chevaune, can you tell us about growing up in Jamaica?
Well, growing up in Jamaica, it's an island, so it's pretty much, you have a lot of nature there. There's a lot of rivers in Jamaica. Of course, there's the beach, and we have a lot of forests. A lot of people don't know that Jamaica is, pretty much has a lot of, jungle, and it's a mountainous interior. So, we're just in nature. So we use our traditional medicine. There are lots of herbs around that we traditionally use whenever we're sick. Most of the time it's a tea that can, fix the issue right away. So, growing up, there was the understanding that our solutions can simply be found in nature. It's just all around you. So that was the upbringing that I had growing up.
Then there's a verse in the Bible that talks about the land will heal you. So I don't
Yes,
know the exact verse, but I remember reading that. And food is very healing. It really is. It's when you're
definitely.
eating the right food for your body, not junk, but raw. If you can do it raw, that's the best way
Mhm.
to do it, so.
Definitely, definitely. And growing up there, we ate a lot of fruits growing up. We didn't really eat much candy and processed
Mhm.
food like that. There are a lot of fruit trees. So as children, on your way home from school, you're sure to pass all these fruit trees in which, you'd raid the trees, and that was snacks.
Oh
We
yeah.
had juice made from fruits. We didn't really drink a lot of processed drinks like that, a lot of sodas, that wasn't, our experience. I mean, those things are becoming more popular now, but growing up, it wasn't that common. Most of the time it was just natural juice, and the
Mhm.
food that we eat it comes from the earth. It's mostly, natural food, vegetables, as the Bible would say, better a meal of herbs
Oh
than with
yeah.
love, than one with a start ox with hate within. So we ate a lot of natural food growing up, and we knew that these foods were healthy for us. So it wasn't we always loved and look forward to these foods. So
Mhm.
even one of the traditional dishes in Jamaica is the callaloo, that's the wild greens. That's kind of like the collard greens.
Mhm.
So we love our greens back home. It's not one of those things that the children hate. Back home, the children, we love our greens in Jamaica. So we understand the power of healing through food.
Oh, definitely. Well, what's your favorite childhood memory?
Definitely, it would be going to the beach or the river with my family. Growing up, we did that like every week. And I would consider it very cleansing. Whatever, especially when you go to the beach.
Mhm.
If you are, as a young lady growing up, if you have like any breakouts or any skin problems, you go to the beach, and that just draws it all out. Any issues that you have, any pain, any aches, the ocean is just really good for that. So,
Wow.
and likewise the rivers, we have a lot of healing springs, and we have mineral waters. So some of them, especially like Bath Fountain in Jamaica, we have a
Mhm.
lot of healing springs. So some of them you go and you have aches and pains, and it just melts it all away. So these definitely were my favorite memories growing up, just having these experiences with my family, and bonding. And I can recall, right before my family, my parents, before they left,
Mhm.
we went on a, what they call it, a staycation. That's what we were
Yeah.
calling it. We say, we have to enjoy the island. It's our home, and my mom especially wanted to make sure that we had that connection back home. Wanted to make sure, especially my younger siblings, that they had these memories, of the
Mhm.
island. So these definitely were, memorable, fun memories that I had growing up.
Okay. Let's see. I understand you have published an ebook. Look at you. Can you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about your ebook?
Well, so my ebook is about the history of my tribe. So when I came back home, I got married, and we decided that we were going to go and live in the mountains with the tribe. And that was a very unique experience, in which a lot was, opened up to me, getting that deeper connection with my ancestry, my origins, learning the origins of our people, going and, learning from the various elders, and we were just, sitting at the feet of these elders and just being with them, because in these modern times, you don't really find that anymore. A lot of youths, they're mostly interested in, the TikTok and, social media and going out and stuff. So, right now we have the elders who are the real knowledge keepers in the tribe, in which they have this wealth of information, and, they're just sitting there. So, we said, well, what, we have to see how we can help in whatever way. And so I and my husband, we apprenticed with.
Oh no. Uh-oh, I lost you for a second.
Again.
Chevauné, I lost you for a second. You're back though. Okay.
Yes, so that's the rain.
So you said
so we
you
live
and
in
your
the rainforest, so the rain has started again.
Oh no.
Yes.
Okay, I
But
heard you say
so
you and your
we
husband
came back and we learned from the tribe and started to even work in the tribal government for one of the communities. And okay, so we came to the tribe and we started to learn from the elders. Now, these elders have a wealth of oral history, and especially this community that we're from is recognized as being the bearers of a unique intangible cultural heritage. And so given the skills and the background that we had, especially with degrees in political science and all of that, so we decided to render assistance, because they asked for our assistance, I should say, because they're like, okay, you guys are from the community, we want you here. They were the ones that said, we want you guys to come back, because we were going, just learning, visiting, learning, seeing what we could learn, and just spending time with them. But then they said, we really need you guys to be here, we want you guys to help, we want you guys to be a part of the community and help us build our community, because you guys are members of the tribe, so just come back. So that's what we did. And we a lot was open to us, and we even started helping other tribes, and we started going around to the other tribes, and we even got involved in tribal governance and did that for some time, and that gave us a unique opportunity to really meet with more elders, island wide, and learning just this rich history that has been preserved and has been transmitted from generation to generation. And so we said, you know what, especially with all that is going on, youths are not really that interested at this point in time. There's so much that is, really pulling the youths away in different direction. And so we felt that it was necessary for us to, work with our elders to see how it is that we could present our history in a way that could, embody the message that the community wanted out there, that would adequately represent our community, because so much is out there about the community, but there is not much that is from the community. And so it has been, a work not just from us, but even the ones before us, to really build on literature out there about our people. And so there has been a book from one of the Maroon leaders, Beverly Carey. She did a wonderful book, The Maroon Story. And she went, in detail about especially our indigenous origins. And so this publication is really a building of, the work of, previous researchers and previous leaders who have, it has been a community effort to really get literature out there about our people, authentic material that, adequately reflects who we are as a people. So that's just been the work.
Okay, I love it. Okay, well, I guess you kind of answered about the next question was to tell us more about your tribal activism, but you told us a little bit about that already. Why do you consider yourself a woman of the soil?
Well, definitely we live in nature. We don't live in the city at all. We live in the forest, in the rainforest, actually. And at one point in time, I think they did refer to it as the second rainiest in the world, next to the Amazon. So it's pretty rainy here, and it's a very natural environment. So right in the mountains here, we plant our own food. Whenever we are sick, we use traditional medicine, and even how we sustain our livelihoods, it is from the earth. We use our natural resources around us. And so this is also a part of our bigger work, even to encourage young people. A lot of them, they don't see the opportunities that are around us. They don't see how it is that they can make a living, or how it is that they can make an income. And so one of the major problems that we have is brain drain and migration from the tribal communities. And so this is one of the things that we want to do, is encourage them. Me, I'm young, and I was able to, with my husband, we started a family in the community, and we are living, we have a business. And so this is how we try to encourage them and show them there is a way.
I like that. So did you grow up in the tribe, or did you grow up like more in the city? And I know this wasn't an original question, but how did you reconnect with the tribe? I mean, how did all that, I know they kind of sought you out, but how did your parents like sometimes take you there to visit? I mean, how did all that come
So,
about?
so growing up, my family is from the western side of the island, the western tribe. And so
Mhm.
my family actually left from the west and settled by a river. My great grandmother actually left and settled by the river, but I do still have my family in the west. And so they do still maintain connections there. I do still have my family in the tribe, but my branch of the family, my clan, left and went to the city because, of course, there are not that much opportunities in the tribal communities. Economic development has been a big problem in tribal communities, not just in the island, but in tribal communities across the world. And so my family had actually been the set of us that enabled, especially the ones back in the rural parts, to get an education. So we were the ones, we did the stuff in the city for those who wanted to go to school in the city, because there's a big disparity, especially with the education that you can get in the city versus where you're going to get in the rural parts. And so my family has been the ones who, enable, especially a greater part of our branch or clan, to get an education. And so that's I myself am a victim, of colonization and, under the underdevelopment of tribal communities. And so when it is that I came back, because, as I said, my family had migrated overseas eventually. And so I came back. When I came back now, and I started, visiting with the tribes and, reconnecting with them. And, I started to even build relations with the historians, the historian in the Western tribe who recently passed this
Mm.
year also. And, really trying to just reconnect with my ancestry and my history. And, they were super welcoming, in teaching me, more about our origins, our history, because of course, in the external education system, what you learn in school is not necessarily, the truth of what happened. And so
Mhm.
especially it was a real eye opener for me, reconnecting and learning what they had to teach, and really unlearn what, the preconceived notions that I had held before, and so they truly embraced me. And but because I'm married, I don't live in the western part. I live with my husband with his tribe,
Mhm.
so, but they truly embrace me. It is tribal living. Once you're a part of the tribe, you are loved. And it's really a welcoming experience. It's really an enriching experience, to be embraced, and to be to have everything just open to you, to learn. And it's truly a unique experience.
Sounds like it. I hope to come visit you one day soon. Okay.
Definitely.
What exactly, can you explain what is UWISERT? Could you explain that to us?
So UWISERT is the University of the West Indies Student Emergency Response Team. It's a student-run nonprofit organization on the university campus that that does emergency medical services on the campus and to the adjoining communities. So they provide ambulance services and stuff of that nature.
Okay, cool. Okay, tell us about your homemade products and how can we purchase them?
Awesome. Now it's Catherwood Natural Products, and we make natural, products for the skin. We make products for, the hair. We do all types of products. Our flagship product, especially, is our soap, the Grandinani soap, and we use that for a wide range of skin problems. You can find our blog at originalcatterwood.blogspot.com or find us on Instagram at Catterwood Naturals.
Okay, and we'll have all that in the message, in the box. Okay, thank you for that. Tell us about the tribal social enterprise that you and your husband are involved with currently, because that's a little different, right?
No, that's
That's
Catterwood
the same.
Natural Products. So it's a social enterprise in that the work that we do, it benefits the communities, and it's really to finance our advocacy work in, raising awareness for the issues that's in our community, and, helping our community and the work that we do, because we don't get any funding at all. So it's really us that has to finance and sustain our work.
Okay. Let's see. And okay. Okay, here's a silly question for you, fun. Okay, as you know, my Lily, my daughter, wants to be an astronaut one day. Here's a silly aerospace question for you. How would you solve earthly problems if you were living here, but you were from Mars?
Well, firstly, I would have to consult some of the people on Earth to find out from them, some of Earth's history and, what led to the problems that the people on Earth are having. And then, see how it is that we could solve those problems.
Great answer. Okay, so Chevauné, what's next for you, girl? I need you to include all the information because this is the last question. So what's next for you? What you got going on? Include anything you want to tell us that we left off, or tell us how we can get in touch with you, because I want some of your products myself, so I need this
Okay.
information for me.
Well, definitely connect with us on social media for the products. But one of the major projects that we are currently working on is the Boston Bent Project. And it's really an educational initiative in which we're collaborating with some other tribes in Suriname, which is in South America. And these are tribes that are in the Amazon jungle. They are actually related tribes. And so it's part of the work to raise awareness of Boston Bent, which was a man from Jamaica who he was actually exiled to work as a slave in Suriname. And he freed himself from that. He liberated himself and went into the jungle. He was found by the Maroon tribes in Suriname, and they embraced him. He joined the Maroon tribes. They accepted him as part of them. And this was during the time that they were still waging a war against the Dutch. And so because of his education, they actually made him their ambassador. And so he helped to negotiate the treaties and help them to secure their recognition. And to this day, they are still recognized as a nation in Suriname. And so they really honor him, and they really respect the people of Jamaica and love the people of Jamaica and the Caribbean. And so we came together with this project to see how it is that we could build a bridge to really show, especially people of color, more stories of triumph, more stories, showing that you can be liberated through education. Education can be a tool of self-liberation, because that's really a big issue, especially now in the modern world, in which people are not really seeing any representation. People are not really seeing that many books that really represent us and our history and who we are. And
Mhm.
I really appreciate especially the work that you are doing, in creating more literature so that the, children can have that representation. And so that's part of the work that we're doing. Our partners, they're building out schools in the interior, you know, and so we are working to see how it is that we can learn from them and how it is that we can collaborate together to really see how we can, enhance our world, enhance the world of tribal people, enhance the world of dark skinned people, because the problems that we're having, I think that we really need to start at the root, and that is the education of the future, the education of the next generation. So that's the work that we're doing, at this
Love
point
that.
in time. We are still seeking support, we're still seeking, strength and partnerships to continue the work that we're doing. So, but that's what's next. That's what we're working on.
Now, don't you have a GoFundMe program going on? Because
Yes,
my viewers might want to give. And I have a lot of author friends that have written books about children of color. They might want, maybe y'all could have something where they could send you some books or something. I mean, I've seen that done like in Africa, different, like where they in Eastern Kentucky, where there was a lot of rain and a lot of flooding. They had a book drive there. I even gave some of my books. So um, there are all kinds of things. But yeah, go ahead and tell us about your GoFundMe. It's to
that's
fund what you were just saying.
definitely, definitely. So we do have a GoFundMe up, and I will send you the link. And that GoFundMe is for the Boston Bent project. So that's Boston Bent, BENDT. That's the Bent, Boston Bent project. And you can check out the GoFundMe. That's the title of it. And if any of your listeners really want to support the work that we're doing and really like what we're doing and connect and resonate with it, we would really, really appreciate the support. And if they can, just share and help us raise awareness just the same, because that's where it starts, us knowing about what's going on and, just sharing it in our communities.
Sounds amazing. You are an amazing young lady. I'm so glad that the privilege to know you. And I'm real proud of you and your work. And I'm going to have to say ta-ta to you now.
Thank you.
So
Thank
nice seeing
you. And
you.
it's really amazing knowing you too, Jane. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me.
You're welcome, Chevaune. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So that was so wonderful talking with Chevaune, joining us today on our podcast, Gust Gin, Living My 360-Degree Life, where we believe in chai, community, family, health and wellness over 50, author life, entrepreneurship, and identity. And I'd like to thank Chevaune Moore Minott. Want to make sure I say her name correctly again for joining us. Guys, be sure to hit that like button, then share, and subscribe. Don't forget to join my Facebook pages. My author group is at Gust Gin, and my podcast group is just at Gust Gin Live. And Gust Gin Live is also on Twitter, is the handle for Twitter and Instagram as well. Until next time, here's hoping that you are enjoying chai each and every day, whether you're active in the community, working a business, or just living your best life like I am. See you next time.